We are back. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we're at the workbench. Workbench has got a lot going on, and we are going to talk about the project today. I threw it away, didn't I? All right, so this is the 3D printed intercooler that I printed for my MST, and love it. And I hate when I find something better because it makes me change it. But what caused this was F and Chet had gotten this car a while ago, and it was sitting for a while because it did not have body mounts that I finished the other day. Not the traditional body mounts, which I can't find. I ended up finding some cheaper but stronger magnets than the ones I use. I used the monster magnets on this one, and they were really expensive. But I got these big bitches that work really good. And the frustrating part is I had already put the kit that he had on there, and the magnets were kind of like the ones I started with, but I liked the actual mount that went over the post with the pin. So I started with the back, and you always check the polarity between the magnets, and it was perfect because there's a particular side to these. So this is the side you screw down, and they magnetized and sucked into the ones over there. The fronts, they did not, and I did not want to rip those off. I didn't want to rip the paint, so I just left them alone and just did the rears. It will come off, and it will bump it. We'll end up changing them, but the magnets in the rear are ridiculous. They hold the whole weight, and there's a battery in there. And I think if this gets bumped, it's just going to reset itself. It's pretty hard to knock them off other than lifting it. Some gook on the hood. Anyway, sidetrack. So today's project is his grill. I gotta cut this out. I'm not gonna cut out the notches because the mesh I got that I already have purchased doesn't work perfectly, so I'm gonna come straight down. I don't think the world will even notice, but I'm gonna put this inside. So that is gonna look absolutely amazing inside there. It kind of matches the paint. Chet got some silver PLA plus, and I absolutely love it. I wish I got this earlier. It really, really pops, really shiny. And then after seeing it, it made me print this one for myself. So absolutely freaking amazed. I wish I saw this before. I would have already had them done. So I'm going to I took mine out, so you just see the grill there. And I'm going to get to this. I'm going to try to figure out how I'm going to do this in steps. Step by step. Go through process really isn't, I don't know. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into this with a razor blade and then just carve around the edges. This will actually get glued, hot glue, to the foam, so that way it's protected from hits and stuff like that. And mine definitely got plenty of abuse, so I know that process works. I got to glue his arms to there, and then let me set up the camera. Maybe I'll get the GoPro out up there and do a twofer and make it an actual edit out of it. So we'll see. We'll be right back. Right, part 2. So use this old dinosaur to poke a hole, do a little trimming. Broke out the router bit. Got to clean it up just a little bit, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it round like that, because it's going to be black meshed anyway. I think the outsides will look like it's part of it. I think I did a pretty good job. Maybe a little touch on that one to even it out just a bit. The intercooler little legs have been glued. The awesome little thing over there is on, and I'm going to mount it to here. So I'll be right back. Right, part 3. I'm doing this to keep track, so when I edit, I can find it. Grill is in. Gotta clean it up. I'm going to say that like 50 times. Mesh is in. Looks good. I love it. I'm happy with the style that I went with. So I'm going to mount the intercooler to that. And then I am going to change out. I did pull the magnets off, and it didn't do real damage to it. Plus, it's got a nice blacked out hood for them. I made sure I got ones that work, so it'll have the strong magnets on it, and we'll be right back, and then we'll finish mine. We're up to part 4. I should keep score here. This is easy. There's no science behind it. I matched it to the foam bumper. I use hot glue because it's not a real permanent solution. And if you need to swap it out, you can just rip it off. I probably am going to get some more foam to recreate that exact shape of the bumper thing. If I decide to change it out a little bit. But the lighting's just not right here to make it really pop. But it's perfect. I'm very, very happy with it. It looks sick. This guy's about to get his intercooler in. I just redid the magnet mounts. Real easy. What you do is you line up, the magnets are already on the car, and then the receiving end of it that's going to attach to the body, you put them where you want on the magnet mount. And then hot glued it, and then put the body on, and then rest it very gently down so everything's center, so that way they line up where they want to line up, not where you think, so you can't go wrong. So you kind of self-eliminate. I learned that process on that one, and the reason I learned that is because I needed to angle the body mounts. So I figured where they needed to go, and you can kind of see them because it ate into the paint. But I put them where I thought, and then I changed the mount so it was angled, so the magnet and the mount were now off. So I had to pull them off, redo them. Lesson learned. All kinds of fun. And yeah, so that's where we're at. A couple more minutes here. I'm going to let those cure, and then I'm going to get the intercooler on that, and then this project should be done. Hopefully he was ambitious this week and printed himself the wing for that thing, and I can't wait for that. So back in 2. There we go. We are mounted in there. I love the realism, the look of it, and it's dusty from all the shaving and cutting. So, for this particular body, what I needed to do was the foam that I glue it to, I had to shave it back probably that much, 1/4 inch-ish. And then in the corners of the bumper, I actually took the bit and then I kind of dug a little pocket, and that allowed that little footing on the end of the intercooler pipes to sit in farther, giving a more contact patch on the outside, and it allowed the whole back of the intercooler to touch the foam with some shaving and stuff, and then glued into the pockets, glued along the back, and then set it in place. So if he hits anything, the body will take it and flex, but it's close to where the intercooler is. But because it's an entire contact patch all the way across, that the whole thing will take it, and it won't break it. I've crashed the living crap out of that one. But the only difference is now it's got 3D printed pipes on the side, where if those break off, those can be reprinted. But the way I glued them and the way I supported behind them will allow them to take the hit. And I think it looks sick. What do you think? And I just got to clean them up for all the shaving parts and stuff like that. This thing's coming along great. I think he's going to want to do some lighting on the inside, maybe glow through the inside. But 2 gorgeous cars. These are not the permanent rims. These are ones that I printed, that I let him use, that had actual good tires on it. So we'll see what rim we end up with these. I might throw, just for ha-has, these on there. That might be the wheel right there. We'll see. But that is my little project. Now I gotta clean up the mess, clean up all the extra glue and stuff that I had put on here, and all the little spots all over the place, and send him a picture, and can't wait. So thanks for tuning in. If you like modifying cars and stuff, share your story, things that you've done, or send me a link to your video so I can check it out, and I can learn something new too. So thanks for tuning in. Peace out.